Alright, hey everyone, Wonderbots here, and welcome back to Felseal. So if you can't tell by my enormous gold count, I've been doing some amount of grinding.
You've been grinding.
And it's not even enough.
Also, hey, there's an event all the way back there with a little exclamation point.
And full disclaimer, seeing as some people might notice this, and I'm in the interest of transparency, I figured out how to put the debug menu in the game if you search it in the Steam forums. But specifically, I actually started using a little bit of the gain one level on all, just so I can catch up, because that makes my life so much easier. I think that's the only one I'm going to use. There's also a instant win battle thing, which I've done.
Why would you do that?
Well, so that means I can gain, like, small amounts of AP for everybody without actually having to spend, like, 10 minutes on a battle. Like...
That would only be in situations where you know you're so overpowered it's just a matter of time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been doing the Echidna Falls for the past, like, 2 hours of gameplay.
What?
I had nothing to do while I was rendering videos, and you were on the phone with your family and a bunch of other things, so I've just been grinding. It's kind of slow.
Exclamation points. Also, there's one all the way back there. Why?
Yes, we've got a couple. I don't know why, so let's go back. Maybe the arena's open. My fly is down. That's weird.
Uh-oh.
When does that happen? I never even take my pants off. That was quite a homecoming.
Yes, I'm afraid some of the old city's nostalgia has worn off now.
Tell me you're not going to let a handful of scofflaws get you all down in the mouth. What? Oh, I guess make you all frowny.
Scofflaws?
All down in the mouth sounds
down in the mouth,
a little
yeah.
salacious, I'm not gonna lie. We drove them off, didn't we?
We did. Primus did.
Primus just chucked a bunch of people into the lake like an asshole. And then hung out at a building chugging potions. The lush. I get the feeling he was just on a drunken bender and decided to drop by for some fun.
Also, Primus is the one that's initiating this whole Mark business.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we ask him why he wants to retire?
Yeah.
Also, what happens to immortals when they retire? Do they die?
Probably.
Because they have to transfer
probably
their
just
powers?
you know the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Oh, with the whole... Well, not the melting. You mean like the ash,
Yeah,
turning to ash.
yeah, he probably like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, the neck...
Oh,
No, his face melts off. Like, his next successor, like, finishes their pilgrimage and then his face just melts off and then he's just a skeleton.
The arc is the melting, but I think it really should be...
Oh, you're right.
What was it? The Goblet one? But what was it called?
No,
Crusader...
Raiders of the...
Raiders of the Lost... the Last Crusade.
Last Crusade is the one with the face melting.
No. The Last Crusade is the one where the dude becomes old and turns to dust.
Oh, you're right,
Remember,
you're right.
because the goblet that Jesus used was supposed to grant him immortality.
I get them mixed up because both movies involve Nazis having really horrendous things happen to them in very short order.
But yeah, in the first one it was... I mean, spoilers, but then again, spoilers for movies that are decades old that everyone should have watched by now. And if you haven't seen Indiana Jones, shame on you! But, yeah, first movie, it's because they dared gaze upon the holy spirits that emerged from the Ark of the Covenant. And then in the third film, yeah, it was the goblet was supposed to grant immortality, but they were provided with just an assortment of beauteous goblets. But, you know, Indiana Jones knew his history. He knew that it would have to be,
Michelle,
What?
People could go watch The Last Crusade. If you haven't, it's actually a pretty good movie. Let's keep going.
Okay, fine.
I know you have this incessant need to recap old movies or movies in general, but let's keep that out of our LP series that, like, I barely have footage for.
Okay, fine. But yes, I predict that when they have their powers taken from them...
Their face melts off or they turn to ash?
I mean, maybe they grow old and turn to dust, or maybe they're able to live out the duration of what their lives would have been. Like, imagine if someone...
Or they are actually immortal and there's just, like, this growing commune of old as shit,
immortals.
like, leaders on a farm.
Well,
one farm.
Imagine, what if they became immortal in their 20s, gave away
let's
their
get to
immortality,
get to our first battle, and then
they live out the rest of their lives like their natural lifespan.
Maybe
that would be it. Okay,
Maybe.
Any case, back to the conversation.
He helps, sure.
helped by intervening in mortal affairs.
Yes, but...
I'm not finished. Helped with forbidden magic, skirting council rules, killing as if he were a clerk crossing out names on a ledger.
Now are you finished? It seems to me a certain Arbiter captain I know has a short memory for details. When a slippery lord recently bent the rules, we had to bend a few of our own. As for crossing out names, it may take us a little longer than an immortal, but we get the job done just the same. Justice won out, lives were saved. That's what matters.
Of course, you're right. But look at the people and resources Sigil gathered preaching resistance to lawful immortal rule. What might they be able to do once word of Primus's indiscretion gets out?
Now that's put a bit of a shadow on things again. But point taken. Let's make haste and put Thespros behind us. Too many ghosts here anyway. Where?
Walk halfway across the continent.
Ah, tourney.
Oh. That guy looks dubious. Look at that grin.
I sell nothing but the finest of broken wares. And illegitimate goods, stolen from all places. I really should work on my lying. I'm the most honest,
and look, he doesn't have his
man
shirt
ever.
tucked in. You see how there's the little tails of it coming out
My
from
mother
underneath the
never
vest?
taught me manners.
Anadine, you've been looking down in the mouth all morning. It's that phrase again, the down in the mouth, the frowning.
It sounds so sketchy.
You appear so melancholic.
This
What
tea's
are
gonna get down
other
in the
things?
mouth.
I mean, I suppose people say, "Hey, are you down right now?" Or no. Down can also mean, "Are you ready for this?"
I'm down.
I'm down. No. What would be?
I like it how you nobody can see this, but she's like gesticulating like
what they always do
a
in rap
hoodlum.
videos or something.
I guess. God, you look so white right now.
Hey, stop that. Whenever I've seen that phrase, I've only ever seen it with that
I know.
gesticulation.
We had a lot of like wannabe rappers when I was in middle school in North Carolina,
And they would always do that.
and they look so bad.
But in any case, yeah, down in the mouth. I mean,
That booch is gonna get down in the mouth later.
well, so when we approach people and say, "Hey, are you all?" Yeah, I think nowadays we say, "Hey, are you all right?"
Next time I see somebody that's smiling, I'm gonna be like, "Why are you so up in the mouth?" It sounds so weird.
Or watch it be more matter of fact. Why are you grinning?
I'm pretty sure the developers are not American. I could be wrong, but they weren't at PAX East for a reason. I'm pretty sure it's because they're not in the US.
So in any case, down in the mouth all morning. Is something the matter? Just thinking about my mother again. And the path we all chose. So few arbiters live to see old age.
French. Yeah, so it might actually be a literal translation of a French
A frown.
phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Yet the work we do is very valuable. Law and order make good lives possible for people across the land. Yes, it's important to remember that.
Oh, her weird squinty face that she does sometimes when she's like pensive or kind of pissed off. It looks like blue steel from Zoolander.
Blue Steel?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you never seen Zoolander?
I think I've seen Zoolander
it's
once,
like the
but it
weird
was
like
long...
pucker face and like slight squint that he does. It's like,
Oh, ew. What?
here, let me look it up.
No.
Blue steel.
Here we were talking...
Mine's short.
About
All you have to do
in-
is see blue steel. Which is that.
He's not squinting. His
No,
eyes are wide open.
This is the one that I think of. When he's squint. I don't know.
No, I can sort of see it.
It was bugging me for a while. I couldn't put my finger on why her like weird pucker squint was a problem, and that there it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Speaking of your mother, her armor is looking a bit tatty. Tatty? Like tattered?
Yeah.
Really? What's wrong with it? With what we've been through, it's taken more than a few knocks, and the straps are worn almost through. You know, there's a blacksmith here in Centina who owes me a favor. I would never trade in my mother's armor, whatever its condition.
She is not wearing her mother's armor anymore.
I'm not going to sell it. Please, just loan it to me for the day. No harm will come to it. Just say you're getting it repaired. Well, okay. Just for the day. Received old armor. Wing. Except it looks brand new. It's wonderful! Thank you, Kyrie. Is this what my mother looked like when she went into battle? It definitely is. You could be her sister.
Wow, you're looking very smart today, Anadine. But where did you get the coin for that fancy armor? I don't know, maybe the 350,000 gold that I've got saved up?
It's the same armor I've been wearing all along. The captain had it refurbished for me. I can't thank you enough, Kyrie. I'm just glad to see some smiling faces for a change. I have some things to take care of, but I'll see you two at dinner. Kyrie truly is an excellent captain.
Yes, she did your mother proud, and so do you.
That's kind of you to say, and you're right. My mother would be proud. Every arbiter risked their life to serve the immortals and enforce the law. My mother paid dearly for that privilege, but she made a conscious choice to serve, just as I have. I understand her better now. I think it is time to let the past be the past. Speaking of the past, are you and Yates on speaking terms yet?
Speaking? Ha! That'll be the day.
And you still can't tell me about, whatever crime he committed?
Very well, I will tell you, but I promise your day won't be brighter for hearing it. My wife, Alicia, was ill, deathly ill. She was being treated at Yates's clinic.
Oh, so Alicia wasn't a sister, or... yeah, it was a wife. Huh.
I'd been away on a distant patrol when she fell ill. It was treacherous territory. Weeks passed before I received word, and weeks more passed on the journey home. When I finally arrived, it was too late. She was dead. It was hard. You lost your mother, so you know how hard.
But wasn't Yates trying to save her life?
Yes, he tried. I'm sure he did his best. But when I returned, Yates wished to study the disease further. That was his reason. When I returned, in order to learn more about the disease that killed Alicia, he brought her back with his necromancy.
It wasn't just a family pet, it was his wife.
That's pretty messed up. My Alicia had become one of the cursed attendants he keeps, shambling around his cabin in the woods. That was his crime.
Oh, gross. How terrible. I don't think I can even imagine how that must have felt.
Yes, it was unforgivable, though as terrible as it was, it feels good to talk about it. The living should never let death hold sway over them, to darken one's days for so long. And Alicia, I know it's not what she would want from me. This endless brooding over the past. I cannot ever forgive Yates for what he's done, but hearing you speak of your mother reminds me, time does lend perspective to things.
Well, the question is, did he keep her? Or did he... did he assent to disposing of her after he had gotten back? Like, is she still there? Did she decay too much and had to be put down again anyway? Did Raynor decide to request that she be killed by his hand, or that the curse be lifted, or the necromancy stop? Like, what happened?
Oh.
What happened afterwards?
Do not know.
Beware of those huge beetle-like creatures. They appear to be lumbering and slow, but can charge a great distance across open ground to attack, and pack a mean wallop when they do.
Big bad beetle thing.
Big bad beetle boards. That's in any case. Make use of these columns and ruins to deny them a clear path to charge. Also, is that a cat bee?
Yeah. So
Cheshire cats? They look like Cheshire
that.
cat
Oh,
bees.
Nope, it isn't marked. So if I kill one of these things, I get an AP bonus, but they're also really hard to kill.
Hmm. Well, it says defeat all foes is the objective.
Oh, I see. That's 210. So I can warp up here. There's also this, but like...
Special chests.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back for a lot of this treasure. Okay, so I actually gotta go to the troops menu for a second. I just realized some of my characters probably don't have weapons.
Uh-oh.
Because I've been switching... Yep. I've been, switching classes around constantly.
Wait, so she's no longer a sword wielder? Or any melee weapons?
Yeah, because I've been grinding for classes and bonuses and things. Well, guess I'm making her a Fellblade instead. I was gonna have her be a scoundrel first, but I don't have enough equipment for that.
Uh-huh.
Auto crossbow, silver crossbow. Oh.
Oh, is this because were you actually trying that ranged thing? Where everyone fires?
Yeah. Actually, abilities. Set abilities. Doesn't need Warcraft. Let's set him at Chivalry. Because that's not bad. No flank and defense expert. Counterattack? Probably fine. So what else do we have? Crit damage by 50%. Sturdy grip. No, I think these are probably fine. Okay, so I think everybody has weapons now. I just remember loading up one of the fights and nobody had a weapon, and I was like, oh no! What did I do? Okay. But yeah, so getting to this guy kind of sucks.
Whoa! Look at that! It's all teeth!
Mm-hmm.
And the weird thing is, I can't tell if... Nah, I suppose those rings around it aren't actually kind of like a forged metal. It's probably just his body. And it only has tufts of fluff in specific spots.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. There we go. Battle starts. I might not kill the dude, admittedly. I don't know if I'm gonna get the chance. Yeah, he escapes after a couple of turns and has the frustrating tendency to become unhittable for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, like, if I don't kill it, I don't kill it. He also does that makes it so he just doesn't take it 1 point of damage. I'll see what I can do, but I'm not betting on killing him this time around. My guys are not particularly high damage because I'm training them in classes. Oh, hey, treasure chests.
Yeah, that there are.
What did I bring her along? Whatever. The music here is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, upbeat. Almost reminds me of Snake Charmer music or something.
Hit the both of them. My main fear is adaptive evasion kind of sucks. Going for it. Toadhead Mirage. And Adaptive Evasion. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to kill that thing.
Brings me back to, I think we had a preschool play. Yeah, it was a preschool play where we put on a circus. And I was assigned the role of the snake charmer. All it really was I had a little basket and one of those fake snakes inside it, tied to the end of a flute. It was amusing. I also wrote in on a magic carpet.
Oh, I see how adaptive watching wizards work.
I was envious of my friends, though, that got to be the lions. Because my one friend, she actually had a Nala costume, and a couple of it was around the time when The Lion King had been released. Man, could you imagine that?
Rock!
Yeah, because when did Lion King come out?
Ow.
Was it 94?
I honestly don't remember.
95? I need to look this up.
Wee, she does damage. She's edgier than Blade Wolf. He is jealous.
Yeah, it was 1994.
Dang it! They're just on a roll on her.
Yeah, so I was probably only 4 or 5 when you put on that play.
Now he's probably... If I try and hit him... No, it'll take him out. There we go.
Do you think there are 20-year cycles for films?
Yeah.
When they start remaking things? Because a lot of things that were from the 80s had been
Well,
remade in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's the same thing with video games. Well, no, video games are on a 10-year cycle, now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, also with video games...
Technology's improved drastically.
Well, they don't recreate a particular game again and again, typically. They continue the series. They have sequels, you know what I mean?
But, like, we've seen a lot of...
There have been a number of remakes.
Remakes and remasters lately.
I mean, I suppose the most recent Pokemon game for the Switch was essentially a remake of the originals. Just in 3D form. I wonder, you know how there's been a huge push from, 2D to 3D and then to live action? Do live action video games exist? Weren't some of the oldest ones from like it wasn't Mortal Kombat, was it? Was it one of those fighters actually used real footage of people?
Yeah, the OG Mortal Kombat was...
The original Mortal Kombat?
Yep.
Okay. Probably didn't look nearly as sophisticated. I wonder what a modern live-action game would look like.
Well, there's also FMV games.
FMV? What's that?
So, say, FMVs are full motion video, I think? Or full something video. But effectively, that's where they have people dress up. The easy example, I mean, Red Alert's cutscenes for
Mist
a good example.
and
Mist,
stuff.
yeah, that's FMV. There's a number of games like Night Trap that were just full like live action footage. Just downscaled to fit on whatever platform it was.
Wasn't there also that game that you had seen someone else play where a guy was going into a mansion and he was live action, but everything else in the mansion wasn't?
Yeah, and it looked real bad.
Right.
No, there's quite a lot of those, honestly.
I don't really think you could do proper looping animations, quote unquote, with a live human, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Move. Let's Stay clustered in one area. Chivalry, one for all. Owie.
Also, I just prefer the artistry of animation.
Let's see, so I want to do Rage, Rend. Now, admittedly, he doesn't do a whole lot of damage yet. That'll get him to do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, it must be amusing having Blade Wolf assist with everything. So long as it's a melee attack, correct?
Correct. Well, no. As long as it's a
Any
single
attack.
target damaging anything, Blade Wolf will help.
Oh no! The healer is surrounded.
Yeah, well, she's kind of secondary healer. How much damage?
But no, I do not see how Raynor could ever forgive Yates for what he did.
Nope.
Because it's one thing to preserve her body and potentially, like, say, take samples or her blood in order to figure out what the disease was. But to have her as a walking corpse? Oh my gosh, that's so grotesque. I mean, I could almost see in a fantasy realm someone bringing back their best friend's wife and being like, see, you can still have her. Except she's... I don't know if it would be a situation where they literally are just... Well, in a sense, brain dead, I should say. I shouldn't say literally, but imagine if they were mindless and soulless, but they were still able to move and, like, technically do simple tasks and remain in your presence, but what made them the wife was gone. It would just be entirely gone. It would be less creepy if they still had a semblance of their old personality and such, but then what would the downsides be? I mean, the fact that they are dead. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure there's something out there where someone's significant other is a zombie and there's the threat of them just falling apart at some point, so they're constantly helping them with preservatives and other things. Oh, I forget what it was. But it's definitely morbid.
Absolutely. I'm beating on my healer. It's annoying. Justice, rage. That do enough? Oh wait, no. Enraged blow. That does enough. Yeah. Does a lot of damage, but whatever. Oh, she doesn't have cleave.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I gotta change that.
Uh-oh.
Cleave makes it so whenever she kills anything,
Does she get a second strike? What was
yeah, she just gets a full-on second turn.
a second turn? That's what I meant.
Which is really good. I gotta work on her combos. Because there's also the kill boon from the magician tree that I could probably use for great effect.
The anatomy of those creatures is amusing.
Yeah.
The ones that are standing on their four legs.
They're weird jelly spaceships.
No. I'm talking about the ones with the rear
Oh,
legs.
those guys. Yeah, all of
that
the
are
creatures in
tiny.
this game are just a little odd.
The beetles are less so. They seem like a traditional...
Yeah, they make
Giant
sense.
Granted, they have large eyes and an angry expression.
What the beetles do?
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
you think about it, most insects, they don't really have prominent eyes. Except for praying mantises. They do have really prominent eyes. And flies. And maybe butterflies and moths. But beetles? Beetles' eyes are tiny. Like,
Well, yeah, because beetles are like little living tanks in the bug world. Oh, right.
I think you'd have to peer really closely at, say, potato bugs or pill bugs, as they're referred to.
Yeah.
Just to see if they have eyes.
Well, their heads are like kind of down in and low. They're odd ducks. Comparatively.
Ladybugs have really tiny heads. Have you actually, like, found the head on a ladybug?
Yeah.
Because I always assumed that, you know, the portion of its head where it has those two large white spots?
Yeah, the eyes are below that.
Right, but on an even more minuscule head that's attached to that part.
Oh, that's weird.
It's like a little triangle. Somewhat akin to the bugs that we've currently been combating. The box elder beetles.
Thank you, Blade Wolf.
But their numbers have finally started to subside.
Yeah. I haven't...
In part because of the rain.
I found a couple of, like, really dusty ones that probably got killed by spiders, but
or
that's
they were,
about it.
yeah. They perished long ago.
Like, one was underneath the router yesterday, and I was like, ah.
Oh, no!
I...
There are probably ones that we didn't find. Well, it almost seemed like any that got in died the next day if we didn't kill them.
Yeah, our
outright.
house is lethal to bugs. For reasons.
That, or they really do have such short lifespans. Because I actually found one that was seemingly dead and on its back, and it had its legs all curled in. And I pick it up in the tissue and it starts moving. I'm like, wait, you were about to die, at the very least, right? But it was alive.
Which do I have? Well, one for all, even if it's probably not actually useful.
I've only found a couple babies. Little red ones. I've actually found a multitude of jumping spiders, but teeny tiny ones. I don't know what they would subsist off of.
Okay, these little suckers is not fun.
You know what spiders freak me out?
What?
Trapdoor spiders.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen one in person, but from the few videos I have seen, isn't it that their abdomen is shaped like a lid? And they pop it up and then they grab stuff from the outside. Or sometimes they make their own trapdoors out of webbing and clay and such.
I think so.
But some of them do have abdomens that are shaped like the trapdoor.
And
And then there are antlions. I don't know if they're another form of insect or if they're an arachnid as well. Antlions have actually been the inspiration for a number of science fiction creatures.
Oh, I'm sure.
One being the Sarlacc, but then also whatever the creature was from Enemy Mine. Except it was a bit more active. Actually, both the Sarlacc and that creature were a bit more active in ensuring that things were drawn into its mouth at the bottom, because they had tentacles and the like to grab. But the premise is the same. In a deep sandy pit, and things slide down into it.
Oh, that's helpful.
We're so fortunate that there are only so many creatures that are larger than us, and the majority of them are herbivores. Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what land creatures do we really have to fear? Aside from big cats, packs of wolves, the occasional bear.
Honestly, mostly diseases. That's really what gets us.
Right, but I was referring to... I don't necessarily consider bacteria and viruses and such to be animals, per se. But bacteria, yeah, another form of life in its own way, but not a creature.
Yeah, I think for us...
Sharks and alligators, and crocodiles, those are
like,
other things
we
I've
still
forgotten.
have things that threaten human beings on a daily basis, but it's been a long time since any, like, one singular species was a major, like, threat.
I suppose mosquitoes are still a wide threat
Yeah,
in their own way, but because they transmit disease,
Well,
like
yeah.
you said.
Well,
They say
yeah.
that, I think they say, like, on a per capita basis, mosquitoes are the most
deadly creature.
deadly creature.
Yeah. That's some AP. Kyrie never falls bonus, map completion special bonus. If I carry that, those are some things. Okay, sleep slice or decay slice. That's weaken.
And was that just a pass through to get to the next temple?
Yeah, that was just a pass through. Nothing fancy about it. Probably should. No, I kind of need to do this. Character's accuracy by 20%. Let's go Sling Bullet for the time being.
I wonder how scientists' efforts are progressing with their making male mosquitoes sterile and diminishing wild populations of mosquitoes.
I'm sure the answer is it's a very slow process.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So we can get Panacea 1, Thunder. I like this class. Especially once we get double cast.
Druid?
That'll be nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's the red mage from Final Fantasy Tactics, which was like always one of the ones that I'd beeline for very specifically.
What were the mages? I know white mage, black mage, blue mage, red mage. Any
So
others?
white mage is the healer, black mage is the standard damage dealer. Red mage is the combo character, with a little bit of white and a little bit of black. Blue mages are the ones that learn spells from monsters. Green mages are the buffers.
Oh, green mages are. Okay.
Yeah, so they have like shell and protect and
Shell.
R. Let's see. Like regen and a couple other things. I think they also had a number of healing abilities, but I don't remember that well. It's been a while since I've played any amount of Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, in Final Fantasy, did any of the characters have those traditional classes?
Oh, many of them did. Gao, for example, was a blue mage from Final Fantasy VI.
Right, but for the later games, 8 and onwards, I don't recall them ever really having designated classes.
No, they did. Final Fantasy IX had very dedicated classes.
Okay, 9, but 9 was also the chibi style.
Yes.
I'm talking about the ones
10?
with the hyper-realistic...
10, Lulu was a black mage.
Oh, okay. But she was a puppeteer.
Still a black
In a
mage.
way.
Absolutely a
Still
black
a black
mage.
mage?
Yeah,
Okay.
she hit all of the basic types.
But did anyone
And I
else...
want to say Kamari was a dragoon. Kind of. He was either a dragoon or a blue mage. He was kind of weird, but he got close. And then the rest were... Well, Yuna was a white mage / a summoner.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just always associate with her with Summoner.
Yeah. And then Final Fantasy 12, everybody could kind of be anything. So that didn't matter. And then I never played 13. So I can't talk about that. And then 15 was an action RPG.
What
that
little
threw
I
everything
saw
out
of
the window.
13 was just cutscene,
Someday-
after every couple seconds of walking.
Someday I'd like to sit down and just watch that game. As like a... Sit on the couch and just be like, we're gonna play Final Fantasy from like 9 to midnight every night until we beat it. But that'd be tough. Anyway, guess we'll see you guys in the next episode of Fell Seal, ramble about other things. And as always, thanks for watching.